Mm, 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 mm. How's everyone feeling? How are you feeling today? How are you today? How are you feeling today? Um, I'm here. I'm here, and damn, damn. I have to admit, life has its own ways of really humbling you. In as much as you may think that you have certain things figured out, and in as much as you think that in you having figured out what you figured out, there is no way that you could be wrong. Life just has its ways of humbling you, and it has its ways of bringing certain things into more, you know, clearer light. I don't know, yeah, whatever the case. So you may be in a position of comfortability, you may have a certain privilege on you, or whatever. You may be in, maybe you may be in accord with some sort of status quo, but life will still find a way to humble you and remind you of certain things violently if it has to be like that, viciously if it has to be like that. You know, it's very, very hot where I am. It's shiza, and it's probably gonna rain soon. A whole lot, a whole lot. So damn, dog. I'm always learning. I'm always learning. I'm always because to tell you the truth, there is a form of comfortability that I'm used to so much that it blinds me, Uh, and I try my best, I try my hardest not to quit because I want to quit. In most cases, I end up quitting. But, I try my best to have certain things derived from certain experiences, you know, in as much as it may be uncomfortable. Um, I really find solace, in making mistakes because even because one thing is for sure, if I'm liable to make a mistake more than once, I'm gonna be in the position somehow to adapt and sort of go beyond whatever it is that I may be capable of, you know, because even me, right? There's a sense of wanting to cope through everything. You want to cope through everything. Well, going into the next year, I want to kill that, that emotion of wanting to cope. Yeah, I have to cope. I'm trying my best to deal with stress and blah, 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 blah. I'm trying my best to deal with stress. And no, I'm not Pakistan. I'm not Pakistan. If you are a human being, are you a human being? Are you real? Because if you are a human being and you are real, I am not Pakistani. I am South African. My name is Krusher Recs, Refinator, Efterma, the Haters, rapper, songwriter, content creator, one of the best rappers of his time. And the slogan goes to the namesayers, I really lose nothing. What's up? How you doing? How you feeling? How you been? It's about 4:40 noon. It's about 4:40 noon. I'm told. South African time, where I am right now, considering that I'm in South Africa. Had to get that out of my had to get that out of my system. You see, I want to remind you, when you get sneezes and stuff like that, it doesn't mean that you have to immediately go to the doctor, because in each and every one of us there dwells cells, um, antibody. antibodies, right? So, yeah, what's up? Yamna Gallo. Are you human? Because if you are human, I'm not Gallo. Yamna Gallo. Excuse me there. You know, antibodies, remember? Sort of like working to clean certain things out of my body that are not supposed to be there. That's what's happening to me. So, with the right diet and the right supplementation, you maintain the flow of antibodies throughout your bloodstream and whatsoever. Still happening. Immune response or whatever the case. Because as wow, as it's happening, right? It doesn't mean that I have to go to the doctor. Like immediately, like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the doctor. Blase, blase. Just have a mint. Have a mint. Have a strepsil. If you're in South Africa, have a strepsil and shut up. Don't be saying, I go to the doctor and stuff like that. And make sure that you actually mind what you eat. I'm told. No, I'm not Zulu, bro. I'm not Zulu. I'm Swati. I'm Tola Timo Malachi. Timo Malachi. You get what I'm saying? Antibodies. But in immune system, the response or whatever. I'm not Zulu. Timo Malachi. I'm Swati. And I'm a rapper, songwriter, content creator, one of the best rappers of his time. And the slogan does indeed go to the naysayers. I really lose nothing. How are you, Joshua? So your name is Joshua. My name is Krusher Recs, Revinator, after Mother Haters, rapper, songwriter, content creator, one of the best rappers of his time. And the slogan goes to the naysayers. I really lose nothing. Welcome. If you are new here, do indeed hit that like button. Do indeed hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you click the notification bell in order to be notified of any future posts, so that, of course, those posts get to you on time. Young Todd. So that those posts get to you on time. And yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, you see, life has its ways of humbling you. You see, you may have a lot of money, you may drive cars that are fancy and whatever. You know what I'm saying? You may be in that position, but one thing is for sure, you won't know it all, and you don't know it all. You don't know everything. You won't know everything. You'll never be in the position to know everything. Even if you are a billionaire, trillionaire, you won't entirely have, like, your money won't be a cure all. It's not gonna be like that. There are certain things that are still gonna happen, and those things, as they happen, they will forever humble you, and they will forever remind you, young Todd, of what's there. Certain things that some of us choose to ignore. Thank you. Thank you for loving the video. So some of us choose to ignore. Uh, um, I'm starting to think that it's not so. I'm starting to think that it's not so. Okay, thank you. If you are are you a real human? Are you a real human? Yes or no? Are you a real human? Because if you're not a human, I can't tell. That's off the top. That's too off the top. Okay, maybe I should just accept it as a compliment. Thank you. Right. mm. Yep. Oh, and please do follow me on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. Do me that favor. Yeah, do me that favor. Actually, follow me on TikTok. I'm now live on TikTok. So um, if I'm not here, I will be on TikTok now and again. Cause TikTok is one of the most popular platforms ever. So why wouldn't I be there? Of course, I'm gonna be there. TikTok. Of course, my Bigo Live is still on. Even though I'm not tending to it as much, cause life is so complicated. It's bad. See, some of you out here think that what does he even think he's doing? Blah 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 blah. Yeah, yeah, and to furthermore prove that I am grown up, I had a homie tell me straight up, "Yeah, man, being a local artist, how long are you gonna be a local artist?" Straight talk, you know, and it's like, okay. He's not seeing it. He sees it, but he doubts it, or he's just waiting for, you know, a sudden breakthrough. Because even if there is gonna be a breakthrough, it's not like it's gonna be miraculous. You feel me? Which is why I keep on emphasizing to you guys that I'm gonna be saying songs for $1, and I'm gonna be sharing the links. Until that's why I keep on mentioning that to you guys. That okay, you know what? Some of you guys are here. You really love hearing me rap. So when and if I get to make songs or an album or an EP or projects, I don't know. You guys should at least get a song for $1. Like $1 is really not expensive, dog. Just $1. Or maybe I could just make it $0.99. Once. Young dog. Ngisinami kunetwork mna, ngisinami kuba mjida qobo mna, ngisinami kuba muntu ebantwini. Yabo, instead of just streaming telling my family that I'm streaming, but I'm not even making money out of it. Yabo, but one thing is for sure, streaming has been very fun and it has been very transformative to me. Yabo, having come across this opportunity, it has been very, 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 very transformative. It's been very enlightening, it's been very fun, and it's been something that I've actually, you know, it's become a part of my purpose, and in as much as purpose, in accordance to society, in accordance to dichotomy, in as much as purpose is aligned with the fact that if you are a man, you have to be in a position to have a woman. You have to be in a position to have a child. And with immediate effect. And it's like, I do admit that I gotta have a child. I do admit that I got responsibility and blah, 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 blah as a man, considering that I won't live forever and I'm gonna die or whatever, right? It's sort of my responsibility to propagate a gene. It's sort of my responsibility to have a woman. But on the other hand, I'm like, yeah, I admit that I gotta have a woman, but many women, bro, they are these days. I don't mean to sound like I'm disrespectful, but even if I am, many women these days, dog, they're just not worth pursuing. They have no freaking passion. They're not, you know what I mean? Like they don't have exact passion. And even if they were to be in a position of being employed, all that passion fades away with earning money and having bills to pay and stuff like that. And to me, that's boring in a woman. That's boring. A woman who doesn't have passion, a woman that doesn't have anything that drives her besides wanting money and putting money first. It's very boring to me. And even if I were to be so freaking, um, even if I were to come to a point whereby I feel like I'm sort of sexually needy, I'd rather if they were to say that being sex deprived sort of makes you die or whatever, I'd rather DIE, bro, than to have myself worry about why people are not fucking with me or why certain females don't fuck with me. Because, for example, I've been coming on here and I've been, the best freestyler that I can be. And I've been proving that I have what it takes to surpass my limits and go beyond again and again and again. So, me being in my current position, in as much as I may not be popular yet, I've had to really reflect, what I really want as an artist, as a man, as a person, as an individual, as a normal human being. I've had to really reflect hard what I really want in the future and the now, whatsoever. I had to really reflect, and I know exactly what I want. I mean, I'm one of the most skillful freestylers ever. I'm one of the most skillful rappers of all time, basically. So, even if it is a matter of women, I must have a woman, why am I not having a woman? Most women are just not worth fighting for, dog. Most women are not even worth approaching. I tell you, even if you could have Range Rovers, even if you could afford everything, Arend, how are you, Arend? Aaron Safish. Aaron Safish, if you are a human being, no ways. Aaron Safish. Oh, you are. Aaron Safish. What's your real name again? Joshua. Yeah, Joshua. How are you, Joshua? How you doing? So, it's really not worth it, sometimes. Because here's what I was telling Joshua Mulenze. How are you? Here's what I was telling a friend of mine, I was telling a friend of mine that, like, it's really useless to look at your position and sort of compare yourself with somebody who's in a particular position, and maybe, for example, maybe them being in that position, maybe that person doesn't perform as well, and then maybe you go jealous because you perform so well and you do certain things so well. Why don't they just promote you already and get you in that position already? It's like, that's what I told this guy, basically, that it doesn't matter if it actually takes 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, hell, even 1,000 years. But one thing is for sure, you should never be in the position to compare yourself to anybody, whether it be in the workplace, whether it be social media. You don't really have to compare yourself to anyone, dog. And it really doesn't fucking matter how long it really takes you. Really doesn't fucking matter. Because at the end of the day, even when it comes to like employment, it's not like you're really just gonna get the fucking job off the bat. You understand? You're gonna somewhat, some companies do voluntary runs, if I may refer to it as that, whereby you basically freaking volunteer, to do that job or to learn the specifics of that job or whatever in action or in implementation or whatever and shit, so as to equip yourself, so that you become better performing for the job and all that shit. And you doing that voluntary work, it could be a matter of you doing that voluntary work for like 2 years, 3 years. You know what I mean? It's really straight facts, because not everything has to really happen quickly, you know. And even if you were to be employed, you probably are going to be given a basic position, but you don't really have to be really mad about it, you know. You don't really have to be mad about it. You getting a basic position, even if you do get a basic position, that one thing is for sure, you have to work and work and work and work and prove yourselves and prove your supervisors, your managers wrong or whatever, right? And work your way to the top and whatever the case is, right? And it's not like you're gonna be working yourself all the way to the top because you wanna criticize people or because you wanna be full of yourself now because you're at the top and whatever, right? Like, you work to stay at the top or you work to get to the top because you ain't got nothing else to do. I mean, what the fuck else could you fucking do, dog? Than just work hard and just freaking, even if they were to say it's voluntary work, like you're not getting paid immediately, blah 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 blah, dog. Yeah, boy, like it mustn't be something that you throw out the fucking window and say, damn, bro, nothing is really happening, blah, 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 blah. It's not like I'm really getting paid or blah, 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 blah. You know, sometimes it's a matter of succumbing to family pressure. That's what I think about it. Because it's like we get the opportunities, or we put ourselves in that position to acquire certain opportunities, but it's like we become negligent of certain factors that include our own individual, contentment, for example, our own individual happiness. We fucking put that to the side because we succumb to that pressure, that societal pressure, that dichotomy, whatever, pressure, that dichotomy based pressure. I don't know what the plural is, whatever. But we succumb to the pressures of our communities, we succumb to the pressures of our families, instead of actually living our fucking lives and making sure that we afford ourselves good financial positions in order for us to be able to, you know, add on to the plan. Because the plan must always be the plan, dog. No matter what, dog. No matter what. And especially if you're from a country like South Africa, the plan has to always just be the freaking plan, bro. And nothing more and nothing less. Me, I don't know about any other nigga, dog. Like, I don't wanna be the type of nigga who just blindly approaches a woman. I don't wanna be the type of guy who just blindly approaches women or just goes up to women and stuff like that. I don't wanna be that type of dude. You know what I'm saying? I wanna be a dude who actually freaking creates something and actually becomes something for real like that. Because that nigga forged that shit from sheer will, from sheer tears, from sheer sweat, from sheer loneliness, the utter loneliness, the people round, acting up and shit, being all freaking habitual about their thinking, not being as transparent about their thinking, and we keep going, dog. We keep going regardless, dog. Like that's how it's been for me. I've had to have some people like outright reject me for real like that because I have this freaking passion for rapping and shit and for like punchlines, rhymes, and all that, right? I've had to take that coming to me. I've had to take that rejection because I'm so pulled in by this passion of rhymes and raps and actually being dope as fuck when I actually rap. So much that it pisses some people off in my locale, of course, and they just freaking reject me outright. I've had that shit happening, and to tell you the truth, um, ever since the year began, I've always been channeled towards my channel. I've always been channeled towards my channel ever since the year began. I literally went broke because I wanted to prove to some people out here that I'm the best rapper of my time. I'm the best freestyler of my time, right? And I had to make, obviously, dog, I made sacrifices. Yeah, but with that money, another person may argue that with that money, you probably would have had a kid by now. Because I'm 27 years old, right? Somebody would have probably argued that with that money, you would have probably had a kid and blah, blah, blah. But one thing is for sure, I just chose to be representing myself, to be standing for a certain type of narrative that would end up being integral to my possible coming generation, dog. Because what kind of fucking father would I be if I didn't even have some sort of rap on me? I'm just an ordinary ass dude who just worked for money at the end of the day to live an ordinary life and shit. Just ordinary, just quarrels and all of the shit. Disputes over monies that I worked for, So basically, I chose to live a life that I wanna fucking live. And if anybody wants to come along, they're gonna have to catch along later, dog. That's what the fuck I'm actually saying. Like I'm at that fucking point in my life. It's like I've been at this point actually that it's like I'm gonna have to live my fucking life, love what I love, be passionate about what I'm passionate about. And if anybody wanna come along for the ride, they just gonna have to come along. They're gonna have to meet me along the way. They're gonna have to meet me along the way. That's I chose. Sometimes it's not even a matter of like you're pressured. It's a matter of like, okay, sure. I mean, we live in societies and faith too where we have to come up, like we have to show up, dog. We gotta dress a certain type of way. We gotta have certain hairstyles and shit, look in a certain type of way. We're supposed to smell a certain type of way, but it's not a justification for like neglecting what you really desire as far as like how you want to experience life goes, how you wish the quality of your life to be, like in retrospect, dog. Like some things are not even a matter of like avoiding sex, or you are avoiding sex, or you are avoiding the fact that you're older, or you are avoiding the fact that you're supposed to have a woman, take care of a woman, have a child, provide for a woman. It's not even about that, dog. It's about living a life that I want to live first, and then being sure that when it comes to my lineage, they good, dog. They good. Cause I ain't have it good, my nigga. Some people out here think that it's about like being in denial and shit. Nah, nigga, it's not. And even if I could get into a paradigm where now I start dressing good now, I start smelling good now, I have the good haircuts, my fucking beard all fucking dope and shit. Even if I get into that dynamic or paradigm or whatever, it still won't be a matter of me doing that shit because I want to primarily fucking impress a woman. You know? And I'm saying this to say this, right? I'm not gonna be utterly trying to attract a woman, and I'm not even trying to say that I'm not gonna be talking to any females, right? Because people wanna think that I'm saying that I ain't gonna be talking to no female. I ain't never gonna talk to a female. Of course I'm gonna talk to a female. Females are just human beings, bruh. That's all they are. They're human beings. It's not like they're anything more or less, dog. They're just human beings, dog, with different emotions, with different perceptions or whatever of life. But one thing that I can say is that females are indeed a tier intelligent than men. It's just that certain females are not channeled, in a right type of direction. It's not that, when you have all these men talking about the fact that a whole lot of things are going wrong with women, they're not trying to say that as men we shouldn't talk with women, or we shouldn't attempt to even freaking congregate with women, from time to time. They just trying to say that a whole lot of things have just been flipped upside down. You know what I'm saying? That's what they saying. That's what they simply saying. They saying that it's no longer the same, dog. It's no longer the same. It's no longer worth it to even wanna approach a woman in that way, like that. Feel me? Because even me, I have myself. I don't want to lie, right? I have myself feeling like I'm very much attracted to a certain type of woman. I do feel like that from time to time. But at the same time, even if I may feel like that, I just switch it off because, dog, I don't have nothing, dog, And it's not even about women pressurizing me to have something, nah, dog. It's about how I view things from where I currently sit in my current circumstances. You feel me? It's not about like, yeah, this guy's into now, blah 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 blah. Right? In my head, I'd rather choose to be here trying something, dog, trying something. I may at least maybe get a brand deal. Who knows, dog? Because I actually need that break. I need it for real. Because if I actually get that breakthrough, dog, my generation is set. Because not even to say like I'm not trying to make it sound like I have to be some sort of like main storyline type of dude or whatever the fuck. I mean, I'm using a mere fucking device. First of all, it's not like I'm using a high quality camera. And some people gonna want to talk like I don't fucking know that. Of course I fucking know that, bro. But the only thing that's for sure is that as I'm doing what I'm doing, as I've been doing what I'm doing, in the form of this YouTube, in the form of me rapping and freestyling and showcasing some rhymes in real time, showcasing certain punchlines in real time, it's my outlet. It's my outlet. And in it being my outlet, I hope that it becomes an outlet for certain people out here. You feel me? That so much that some of you watching me out here, whatever it is that you may be going through, you just be you just be, you know what I'm saying? You just be talking and you just be thinking, right? That's what, like, as I'm rapping has to be rewired in the process. It thing of, oh, he's rapping because he thinks that he can rap the other guy. Nah, dog. It mustn't be that type of thing. It mustn't even be personal when you hear me rap. It has to be entertaining to you. As it's entertaining to you, it becomes insightful to you. It mustn't be a matter of like, oh, he's trying to rap because he thinks that he can be better. I don't give a fuck about being better than anybody, dog. As a rapper, songwriter, content creator, I don't give a fuck about being better than anyone, bro. Out here. Okay, I'm inspired by these dudes, bro. I'm inspired by these dudes, dog. Kendrick, Drake, even, in as much as he shifted and transitioned, in his transitioning, it was probably, it was lucrative, yeah. Because, I mean, he did, logically make a lot of freaking money out of, from the new generation, of course, the new generation of kids. He made a whole lot of money from the new generation of kids because he had the new generation of kids bumping the Drake sound like heavily, like singing and rapping or whatever, and being all rainbowy and shit, right? Um. Okay. Fake account. Fake account. Bye. 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 Yeah, you see, when it comes to maintaining order, you must not be afraid to sort of set boundaries. You mustn't be afraid when it comes to boundaries in this world. If somebody oversteps or if somebody is overdoing something, you mustn't be hesitant, young child, to nudge them in a direction that is uh, insightful, so that they understand, which, no, dog, now I'm flopping now. I'm really, really fucking up. Like, I'm really messing it up. I'm really, really messing it up. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, oh no, yeah, we're gonna sort it out, man. The chicks are normally passive like that, especially when it comes to dudes that really beat them. Yeah, no, friend. We're just gonna have to forget about it. Yeah, he tends to get like this when he hits 2 bottles. La 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 la. Nah, don't be pet. Nah, you hold on. When he's on 2 bottles because he got that dope, meaning that he's justified for beating your ass. Wow, okay. Some women out here are quite interesting people. Very interesting. Yeah. The fact that a person got like millions in the bank, it justifies why they should just punch the hell out of you. Wow, man. Wow, bro. Wow. Shit. And that's the justification for why you choose to leave and reject guys that are probably gonna, I don't know, commit maybe, or I don't know, or be somewhat serious about you. You know what I mean? Because being serious about somebody that you love is not entirely money based, dog. It's not entirely money based, and some of you women out here are very delusional. You're losing it. You are losing your kabonke doink doink. You're losing it. You're losing your bedoinky doink, baba. If you think that, talking to the woman, of course, if you think that a man loving you and you loving a man, or you freaking being loyal to a man and a man being loyal to you is entirely gonna be fucking money paid, you out of your fucking mind, man. Yeah. No, but anyways, this was one of my young rants about nothing much, not holding any feelings, not holding any grudges. I'm just sort of titillating my creativity, and I'm channeling it towards a different direction. Instead of always rapidy rap, 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 rapidy rap, 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 rapidy rap, 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 and all that shit. I'm trying to channel my creativity towards other directions. And yeah, and I'm not doing what I'm doing for nothing, that's for sure. And yeah, shout out to everybody who's been subscribed. Shout out to everybody who stayed subscribed. Shout out to everybody who hasn't been bitter. And thank you to those who actually watch, even though you're not subscribed. But thank you for watching. And if you actually do like what you hear from me in terms of maybe it being as entertaining, perhaps, I don't know. I don't have a perfect camera. But if you really do like what I do and shit, hit me with that like button, hit me with that subscribe button. Make sure that you share the profile, make sure that you share the live from time to time because check it, bro. If even if you're not subscribed to me, I'm still gonna be here and you're probably still gonna be listening to me, blah 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 and all this bullshit, right? But anyways, that's just a little something something, you know, it was a little something something, a little rant, you know. But anyways, I'm gonna see you on the next one. Let me try streaming on TikTok because I discovered that I have the TikTok feature for streaming unlocked, and it would seem that me applying for it wasn't entirely for nothing. So let me just go and stream on TikTok. It is what it is. Thank you so much.